Okay, so I've logged in as the moderator, and when you're in LAMS, you'll be working on ICT Integration Workshop 1 to start with. Now, as the monitor, I can click on here, and I can see, and this will probably be difficult for you to see, I can look at the sequence, and I can see this is the tasks that you're expected to do. I see them as a sequence, you see them as a line down the side, and each one of these little people represents somebody. So, and I can track how people are progressing. Now there's 36 people here, and I can see that 3 of them have already finished. So this allows me to track what you're doing. It allows you to go back in and keep working at your own pace, and the system will keep track of all your work. Now I'm just going to get out of this one. If I go instead to the authoring tool, and I'm just going to open up our sequence that we're working on. Now, just to go over some bits and pieces. Oops, actually, I'll do it this way. I'll just do it from my point of view, or from your point of view. So if you go to, I'm just going to preview this, so I'll see roughly what you're doing. So obviously read. When you get to demographics, I can put in whatever demographics I want. Now you probably can't read this, but in this case I'm going to put in science. The reason why I do this is I'm going to be getting you guys to work in groups. So if we're looking at the content, so standard 2 I think it is, know the content and how to teach it. If I put you in all different groups shuffled up, then if you say a comment about Sibelius in music, it's not going to make sense to someone who's studying science. So this will put all the science people into groups. Other times we're going to be working in different groups, maybe for ICT skills or whatever. So in this case I've just said science. Here, this is the number you've got from your atomic learning. So if you haven't done your atomic learning, you're welcome to go and try it and have a look at your score and then just post it here. So if you got a 63 here, so I'll say skill level 3. If you haven't done the atomic learning, you're welcome to have a look at it here and make a comment. And skip through. Now here I've got the videos. If you haven't watched the videos, any of the other videos, the workshop 01, I'm going to say no. Now this makes no difference. It's just the program deciding whether or not I've seen it. Because I've said no, it's then going to give you, now you won't see this screen, but it'll say you've watched no videos. Basically the program says you watched no videos, so go and get the videos for you. Alright, I'm going to choose this. Now here's the links to the videos. There's lots of different ways of getting to those videos. If I just go next, the video comes up here. And because I said I haven't watched either video, the next video comes up. Right, and I move on. Now, here, when we actually are making comments, what I want you to be thinking about is how well is the person making a comment. Now, a comment could be something simple. Basically, to give you an idea, I'm looking at 3 stars if it's a useful comment. You've covered the stuff we wanted to cover. It's a 3 stars. Anything less than 3 stars is considered poor or unsatisfactory. If you're getting 4 stars, you're not only answering the question, you're actually giving some extra information or a personal example or a link to more information. If you've got 5 stars, then you're obviously giving extra information and links to material or examples. So in this case, I want to talk about ed mode in the classroom. So I click on here, I click on reply, say I would use it for sharing, whatever. Put in whatever you want. Now this one time it won't make any difference, and there's only 500 characters, so it's only short. I can then go back and mark these stars. So this is just a practice of how to use the rating system. You're going to be using this quite a lot for doing your peer assessment and moderation. Yes. The next task is your AITSL Standards. You can get these from our ICT Integration section on My Uni, but this is just so we can get to it as well. Now, and then this is the bit where it gets harder. This is benchmarking. Now, there are 6 standards in here, and what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to have a guess as to, well, not a guess, but have a look at the standards that what students have written. and make a judgment on what you think it is. Now, for each standard, and I'm looking up here at the top, I'm looking for, number one, have you identified the AITSL standard? And in this case, this person's talking about what the standard is, so identifying the standard. Now, part B, have they suggested an ICT tool? Now here it's talking about social media, social networks, Facebook and so on, and then it goes on to talk about Edmodo. So yes, they've mentioned a tool, and they've actually given a specific tool. And then so not only have they given me information, they've actually been specific. So, and part C, have they given the pedagogical reasoning? So yes, they've actually given the pedagogical reasoning for using Edmodo, and gone on to give more information about the Edmodo itself, what pedagogical tool used. So A, yes; B, yes; C, yes. So that's 3 stars, and so definitely graduate knowledge. But if I go down here, it says proficient knowledge. So if you have given not just the generalized, but given detailed, specific example of an ICT tool, or a specific example of the pedagogical tool, then it's basically a bonus star, so 4 stars. If you've done both, it'll be 5 stars. So for this case, and this makes this easy, I would say this person would get 5 stars and continue. All right, and then, so new one. So this benchmarking will take you through 6 of these standards, so 1.1 to 1.6, and there are a range of different ratings. In this case, I've used a multiple choice touchpad, but you'll be using the star rating for future reference. You need to go through and work on each of these problems, working out what your benchmark is. Once you've finished all 6, it will come back and say this person, so perhaps this person is a 0 star, or I think they're a 0 star. At the end of it, it might say, well, no, this person is actually a 1 star because they have identified the AITSL standard. And so for each one, it's going to align or realign your final result with what the task should actually be. The benchmarking, there's 6 benchmarking things. I'm expecting you to go through until you get it right, basically. So we want to do this in teaching. Now, why am I getting you to do benchmarking and peer assessment? Realistically, this is the last time you'll ever have to submit assignments yourself, unless you go on and do further education. From now on, after this year, the main thing you're going to be doing is marking other students or other people's work. So this is practice marking. Yes, you might be able to give me the information of what a standard is, but can you identify it in others? So that's what a lot of the tools are going to be. And each week we're going to be focusing on different standard. You're going to be posting things, and then you're going to be looking at what other people have put up and giving them a mark. If you are in a group of 6, say, and in your group of 6, you think that one person's done outstanding work and given them 5s, whereas everyone else has given them 3s, well, that tells me that you're actually marking too easy, or so you're not meeting the standards yourself. Perhaps you don't quite understand them. Or equally, if you think that it's only a 1, but everyone else has given it 3s, then again, your marking is not very good. So not only are you going to be doing the standards yourself, you're also going to be identifying them in others. So at the end of all this, you're going to get a mark based on the number of stars you've accumulated from the standards you've done, as well as your postings. Okay, so I am just going to flick through. You can see here, as we're tracking through, I'm getting blue circles to say I finished everything, and done. All right.